If you know any of my story, you probably know that my background is as a nurse. I was trained into the Western medical system and I worked at an inner city hospital for about 7 years before I got completely burned out and luckily found holistic and complementary therapies. So I haven't worked in the Western medical system for over 10 years now, but I still have a very dear place in my heart for nurses. I really believe that at the core, most nurses are healers and they went into that profession because of their beautiful hearts. And if you're a nurse listening to this, I see you. I see how stressed you are. I see how much pressure is put on you in a system that is actually quite inhumane. There are so many demands on nurses these days. There are so many stressors on nurses. And I feel blessed to still carry my nursing license. And as I begin teaching or continue teaching workshops and movement classes and self care retreats, I feel excited to be able to offer continuing education credits for nurses. When I was working in the hospital, I was even able to receive money from the hospital to pay for continuing education classes. So if you're a nurse, look into whether or not the place you work provides that for you, because you might be able to get part of this retreat that we have coming up paid for. It's pretty exciting to know that retreats and classes regarding self-care, holistic healing, ceremony, ritual, spirituality, all these kinds of things that I offer and are like really available to people these days, all of that can be considered continuing education for your nursing license. There is a there's an association, the American Holistic Nursing Association, and they have a set of like foundational understandings. I forget the tenets, maybe is the word they use, but self care is one of them. And they really believe that self care is a foundational aspect of being a holistic nurse. So if you choose to come to our retreat and you want to receive continuing education credits, I can offer up to 10 for meditation, for yoga, for movement, for ritual, for forest bathing, nature time. And this all falls under that category of self care and spirituality. And I love this. I love that I'm able to, I'll make you a certificate, I'll sign it, and it will give you 10 continuing education credits. And you'll have to check in with your state if you're not in Minnesota, but in the state of Minnesota, the Board of Nursing understands that each individual nurse will is responsible for determining whether or not the CEUs is applicable to license renewal. So basically, you get to decide if these self care continuing education credits are credits that you want to put toward your nursing license renewal. So I just want to invite you to consider the option of coming and really giving yourself the opportunity to nourish yourself so that you have more to give. And when you get that certificate, you can maybe even get money from the hospital or the clinic or wherever you work to help pay for it. And at the very least, you can use those credits toward your license renewal. So you might even be able to use them toward your board certification for holistic nursing, which I believe is 100 continuing education hours every 5 years. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. I'd love to talk with you about this and share with your nurse friends. And yeah, we'd love to share this beautiful retreat with you.